Hello there, Chris here from Tube and Truss in the workshop. Now, we're going to be taking a look at this amazing, beautiful, original 1965 Plexi JTM45. One owner for many, many years. It's been around the world, it's been to Australia, it's been everywhere. Remarkably intact. It needed KT66s that I put in instead of the sort of unmatched old couple of EL34s that are in there, with the valve rectifier as this one. The Marshall diagram says use KT66s. It needed a cap and a couple of resistors. As you know, I use period correct parts, so I used Iskra resistors and a new old stock Wimmer cap, and all is beautiful. It needed a Bulgin mains inlet fitting. The original had been pulled out and someone just put a terminal block in there and put a big knot in the old cable. So anyway, let's take a look around this absolutely iconic hand. I've got some Kinks playing at the moment because it's kind of, you know, early Who, early Led Zepp, all those guys. Really, this JTM45 began rock as we know it. Okay, let's have a quick tour of the inside of this remarkably original 1965 JTM45. Now look at this beautiful big aluminium end pieces on the chassis there. This was the first big departure from the Fender style of chassis building. We can look in here, V1 cathode bypass cap I had to replace. I've got a new old stock in there. Down here we have a couple, mostly Iskra resistors, but there's a couple of PHERs in there. One of the phase inverter plate resistors I had to replace. See, one's a PHER, one's a Iskra. I replaced the Iskra with an Iskra, of course. The first dropper resistor, the 8K2 there, I had to replace again with a big old Iskra, and everything else is pretty much good. Of course, the mains inlet, I've got a new old stock Bulgin plug-in there, and the power indicator I've replaced with a Marshall replacement because that died. This is all absolutely beautiful. Of course, looking on the top here, unfortunately not much of the assembly label is very readable, probably better in the photographs. I've used a couple of dobs of hot glue and some acetate to protect that label. Of course that's non-destructive, that will just come off if you like. The stars of the show are these beauties, Marshall branded KT66s. Which according to our circuit diagram in here, EL34s are used if you have solid state, if you've got diode rectifier. KT66s if you've got the valve rectifier, of course. Looks a bit odd. Why would you put an axial in a radial mounting? Well, because they did. That's what they did. Looks a bit of a bodge. I put a little bit of new cork in there. But that's the way they came. Some must have had an axial, a radial cap in there, surely. But the pictures of the old originals I've seen, most of them do have an axial cap mounted in that way. Now, of course, I've used new Whitworth thread brass screws for the new Bolgin mains inlet to match the old ones. There was one missing there, so I put him in. Serial number, just readable there. That's quite nice. Well, 1949 is easily readable. There would have been some writing down here, but unfortunately that's gone over the years. And finally, yeah, ready to go back to the customer tomorrow. It's in really very good condition, isn't it? See a little bit of wear, a few of the caps missing on the knobs there, my new power indicator, switches are original and everything, and around here of course we have everything absolutely beautiful. Now, usually I'll end an amp repair video by playing it, but I'm not going to. I have played it, obviously, to test it. I played it quite a bit, but to be honest, this is the iconic amp. This is the amp that started rock music as we know it. This is the one. This is what Marshall did. They did this amp and then they went on from here. And so did the world of rock. All the bands wanted this sound. I can't play like that. I'm not going to embarrass this particular iconic, historic Marshall by playing it in public for you lot with my inane witterings, like 99% of us do. This needs to be played properly if it's going to be in public. It needs to be plonked on top of a 4x12 with some old Celestians in it. I have got an old Marshall 4x12, but it's got like 70s speakers in it. You know, it's not the right one. So I haven't got the right cab for it. I have not got the capability or the talent to demonstrate the sound of this beautiful thing. You could have to get one of your own or listen to the classic recordings from the British bands of the late 60s, mid 60s onwards.